Hi guys, Layla here, and welcome back to my channel. And this is Ohuhu versus Copics. So, as some of you probably know by now, I got some Ohuhus, and my last few videos have been me using my Ohuhus between reviews and, the 1 marker challenge and all that. And I have a few of you asking how do they compare to the Copics that I have, and I'm really excited to share this video with you. And basically, I do have my own opinions myself about Copics and Ohuhus and how they compare, but I don't want to say, Copics are better, buy them, or Ohuhus are better, buy them. I feel this is a video more for you guys to watch and decide for yourselves what you like best or which side you enjoy more, figuring out what works best for you and what you think. But I am going to go through and talk about the comparisons of the two. So yeah, let's begin. So I started out with a kind of like a front-facing portrait style character because I felt it was really important to have, a portrait where half of her face and hair are Copics and the other half are Ohuhus. I feel that it really does the job in doing a good, comparison between the two, especially visually. I mean, at the end, you get to see how one compares to the other. So while I'm doing that in this video, I'm also just going to talk about the comparisons. So I'm using the Copic sketch specifically. Copic has a few different options. The original, the chows, they have the short stout markers that, the name escapes me at the moment. And then they have the various ink refills. And then with Ohuhus, they have several products, but only their alcohol markers are the only, type that they have right now. It has a bullet nib on one side, a chisel tip on the other. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Copic sketch has 358 colors, which is an amazing variety. I mean, that's a lot of good colors that, you get to blend and build up. And whereas the Ohuhus only have, from what I've researched, only 100 count colors. I currently bought the 80 count. I totally didn't know there was a 100 count. Otherwise, I would have bought that. But yeah, so 100 count, not a crazy amount of colors, but that selection is very good. I mean, it covers, all your blues, your purples, your greens, your skin tones and things like that. So it's good. One of the biggest things about Copic is, of course, you can refill with various ink. So you don't have to, once you finish them, you don't toss them. And thank goodness, because for $6 to $7 a piece, that would really be crazy to just toss them and have to buy another one. So of course, but you can buy the refill ink. The refill ink is expensive as well. But with Ohuhus, you run out of one and you chuck it, and that's that. Basically, you'd have to buy a whole new set to get that 1 marker back. However, I will say when I bought my 80 count set of Ohuhu markers, they had a cute little insert, FAQ, saying, my pen dried out after multiple uses, what now? And Ohuhu says, a free replacement is on its way to you, and please ensure the caps are secure when not in use. So I'm assuming that they will replace your marker after it's been used. I don't think that they would do it for a full batch. Like, for instance, every time you run out of a marker and you just call contact them and be like, hey, my marker dried out, now what? I don't think they'll just be like, oh, that happened again, here's a new one. Oh, it happened again, here's a new one. I'm sure they have a limit. But, I mean, it's really cool that they would do that, even for one. So that's awesome. So the nibs are different. Copic sketch has the brush nib on one side, and then they both have the chisel tip on the other. This is pretty much a big deal for people. For me, it's not really. If anything, like I do like the nice painterly effect that you get with the Copic sketch, but honestly, for me, this is just a me issue. There's kind of less control, when I'm painting with the brush nib. I don't know, I just feel like the control of the line isn't as steady as when I'm using the bullet nib of the Ohuhu. But honestly, the Copic originals have bullet nibs, so I guess I could get those for, more steadiness in my paintings. And interchangeable nibs on your Copics, the Ohuhus do not. The color codes are easier on the Copics, for instance, some of them start with B, and then obviously B is for blue, G is for green, and so on and so forth. And then they also have the color names right on them, whereas the Ohuhus are just numbers. Apparently they used to have color names though, so that's interesting. I have the new set though, so I've never had the older set. As far as the blending goes, Copics do have superior blending, which I would expect given their price. But that doesn't mean the Ohuhus don't blend at all. They're great with blending too. Just you can't go into it thinking you're going to achieve the same sort of blending effects as the Copics. It's more like you have your base color, you put some shading, and then you go again with your base color over the edges of the second color, and you won't get a nice smooth blend, but you will have softened the color into your other color. So it's not a full-on blending the way that Copic does, but it's not bad either. The Ohuhus are surprisingly very vibrant in comparison to the Copics. So that was very interesting. But the Copics, despite not being as vibrant, the vibrancy can be built up. So that wasn't really anything worrisome on Copic's side. The Copics smell slightly stronger than the Ohuhus. The Ohuhus don't really smell all that much. There is still a scent. They are alcohol markers. But I was very surprised at how non-irritating the smell is. So that was a big plus, for me, since I don't like smelling my markers a lot. Not that I smell them, but, when I'm working, I like to have the room, aired out because sometimes the smell can get a little overwhelming. The Ohuhus come with a case, which is awesome because I didn't have to buy an individual, sorting box for them. So that was good. Unfortunately, though, it is hard to organize them by color in the little canvas tote that they come in, but really, it's not that huge of a deal to me. And basically, the only other issue that some people do have with Ohuhu is, some of them, when you buy them, sometimes they come, with an exploded marker or a marker maybe dried up. But those, I feel like those are minor issues because, in the FAQ that Ohuhu sends you, hey, my pen is bleeding when I opened it, what do I do? And all they say is this doesn't affect using, please remove the ink. And you'll also get a 50% off discount or free replacement, on its way. So at least they're taking care of any issues that you may encounter or have. I also haven't mentioned which side is which yet, which I feel like it was something I should have said in the beginning. So for those who haven't guessed, maybe that's a good thing because they're quite similar. Who knows? But anyways, for those who can't tell just yet, the right side is Ohuhu and the left side is Copic. And at the end of it all, I'm really satisfied how alike they came out. Clearly there are differences, but I don't know. Personally, I feel that the differences aren't huge. And the fact that they're not huge differences, maybe because of how I perhaps colored it. Maybe I didn't blend my Copics as much and I went more with a cell kind of shading kind of coloring there. So I guess you could probably say that. But I'm really satisfied with the Ohuhus. I really like them. I really like my Copics as well. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. So maybe comment and tell me what you guys think. Do you like the Ohuhu side more? Do you like the Copic side more? I definitely want to know your thoughts, especially if you own both products. Definitely leave a comment, Let me know how they compared for you and your coloring style. So yeah, so maybe hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.